Welcome to lesson 89, constructing two-way frequency tables. Today's lesson is going to feel like a puzzle because we're going to give you some information and you're going to figure out the other numbers using math. Usually it's going to be adding, subtracting, or some multiplying. So here's our CFS. You're going to watch how we take the given information in the problem to accurately fill out the numbers in the correct spots. So you're going to have to read things very carefully to place them in the right position. And then we're going to use the information we have to fill out the missing boxes in the table using various computations. So here's the problem I'm going to use to model. It is going to feel like a puzzle where I'm giving some information and I got to figure out the rest. So let's jump in. A survey of 100 students was taken. It was found that 60 students watch sports. 34 of these students do not like pop music. Of the students who do not watch sports, 70 like pop music. Complete the two-way table. Okay, so what do we definitely know for sure? We definitely know that 100 kids in all were surveyed. So I'm going to put 100 here. This 100 represents all the kids that watch sports and don't watch sports. It also represents all the kids that like pop and don't like pop. So you can see there's adding happening this way, where these two numbers add up to 100, and adding happening this way, where those two numbers are adding up to 100. So that's what frequency tables do, the two-way ones. We can add vertically and horizontally, and we're going to get to those numbers. It's found that, let's look at our second clue here. 60 students watch sports. So I'm going to go to watch sports. If I put 60 here, it means that 60 kids watch sports and like pop. I don't have that information. I only have that they watch sports. If I put it here, it would mean 60 students watch sports and don't like pop. Again, that's not confirmed. So I'm going to put the 60 here because this represents all the kids that watch sports. That's my second clue. And 34 of these students, it was found that 60 students watch sports and 34 of these students did not like pop music. So again, of these 60, 34 do not like pop. So this is the group I'm talking about. Alright, of the students who do not watch sports, so now I'm down to here, they don't watch sports, 70% like pop music. So of these kids, 70% like pop. Of course, we don't know what that number is yet because we don't know 70% of what, but it's 70% of whatever this number is. We just don't know what it is. All right, so that's all we have for information, but we do have plenty of information here that's going to help us fill out the rest of the table. Let's start with what we know for sure. I'm going to start with an easy one. And I'm noticing here this row, because I know that 60 plus some number is going to equal 100, and we can do the math to figure that out. That's just going to mean 40. So I'm using what I know about part to whole relationships to just figure out the missing number. And in my head, I'm just going 60 plus some number equals 100, so that number has to be 40. That's all I'm doing here to get that number. Do you see any other, just scanning around, another additive relationships? I do. Right here. I know that if we take the number of kids who like pop and don't like pop, they add up to 60. These are all the kids that watch sports. So again, I can use the same thing. What would this number have to be to make 60? So in my head, I'm just doing this. Well, 60 minus 34 is going to give me that number, and that's going to be 26. Okay, because 26 plus 34 is going to give me 60. So there we go. So how do I know? I just want to go back a sec. Because it says 34 of these students, that means I wanted 34 of these 60 students. That's why I put it here and didn't put the 34 over here, because it was 34 of these 60. Great, so far we've gotten two boxes filled out. Is there anything else we can figure out? I'm going to move on to this row here. And there is 70% of the kids who don't watch sports, like pop music. How do we find 70% of a number? This is 7th grade math. So percent of a number, all we're going to do is we're going to put that number at n and then times the percent as a decimal. That's it. So if I want 70% of 40, I'm just going to put 40 times 0.70. And if you use your calculators, you're going to get 28. And that's how I get that number. Now that I have that puzzle piece, we can complete this relationship here. 28 plus what number is going to give us 40? 28 plus 12. Awesome. So now we have a lot of information. We filled out these boxes. We filled out these boxes. How do I get to these boxes? Vertically, I don't have enough to add up to 100. Horizontally, I do. Remember, this is the other relationship that we have. So 26 plus 28 is going to give us this total number. So that's all you're going to add up together. 26 plus 28 is going to give you 54. And let's go to the next row. 34 plus 12 is going to give us 46. All right, and now I can do my final check. Let's just make sure that all of this is true. 54 plus 46 does give us 100, so this is true. 28 plus 12 does give us 40, so this is true. And 26 plus 34 does give us 60, so that is true. Let's check this way just to make sure, and take out your calculator if you need to. 26 plus 28 does give us 54. 34 plus 12 does give us 46. And 40 plus 60 does give us 100. And that's it, Math Marbles. That's how I complete my table. If I'm getting the percent of a number, I'm using this math, multiplication. And if I have two numbers that add up to another, then I'm just using my adding or subtracting work. So hit pause and jot this down into your work. Okay, let's do the reveal. I'm going to just show you the entire piece so you can go and hit pause and check on the answer parts in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so there we have it. These are all the numbers that I have for our two-way frequency table. Recognize that we can go and add up vertically to make sure that these numbers are accurate, and then you can also add them horizontally. So check and see if you have the exact same answers. If not, stay on so we can go through this problem a little bit more carefully. But if these are the exact same numbers you have, jump into your checkpoint. All right, Math Marbles, make a decision. If this is it for today, I'll see you next time. For everyone else, let's stay on. Okay, so let's find out where we're getting some of the critical information from. We know that 100 students were surveyed, so that's going to put 100 over here in this corner. And out of the 100 surveyed, 42 like pop only. So I have to go into the category for liking pop. And so yes, they like pop, but no, they do not like country. So that's where we're going to put the 42. And then going into the next one, 34 like country only. So I'm going to do the same thing, yes to country, but no to pop. There's our 34. And 15 like both pop and country. So they're yes to pop and yes to country. And 9 don't like either one. So they're saying no to both. So they are saying no, I don't like pop, and no, I don't like country. So those are your original boxes. So just stop there for a second and see that you've had that part of the information. And if you have something different, this is the time to change it. Okay, so now that you have this information, the rest of it is just going to be adding. So you can just figure out, I'm going to start adding vertically first since it's a little bit easier. And here you'll get 57 if you add them. And here you'll get 43 if you add them. And the good thing about this is you can check to see that these two together will also give you 100. So that's the first part. Adding, adding, and then adding horizontally. Great. So now we're going to do the same thing going in this direction. And so when you add these two together, you're going to get 49. And when you add the other ones together, you're going to get 51. All right, and that's it. And when you add these two numbers together, you will also get 100. And that is how we completed the rest of the frequency table. I hope you found this helpful. Again, the key to this is typically just where you put the numbers off from the beginning. So spend a lot of time being very careful there, because if you make an error there, the entire thing is going to have errors. Okay? As opposed to once you have it in the right position, you can just double check your adding and subtracting pretty easily. All right, that's it for today's lesson. I'll see you in the next one. Be well.